Ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, I started a new series all about Call of Duty news and wrapping everything together week after week, so you guys know what is coming next. I started out with the name Twicod, or This Week in Call of Duty. We then had the idea of Last Week in Call of Duty, or Wicod, and I didn't really like any of those names, so I asked you guys what we should call it. And someone said the Weekly Reload in last video, or TWR, or we could do COD TWR. And I like the name, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any better names. But with this week, we had Season 3 Reloaded officially come to the game. And of course, we got a bunch of new things with that, like John McClane, like Rambo. But on top of this, we also got a bunch of Season 4 leaks revolving around Warzone and a new event. We also got some updates as the new operators with Warzone and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War as well. And on top of this, we actually had the end of Season 3 cutscene got leaked. Here's a little snippet of it.
Our man in South Africa is standing by.
Agreed. All the pieces are in play. Make the call.
Now, at this point, I don't know whether or not I can show the whole thing, but I'll make you a deal. Normally, when these cutscenes come out, I do a full breakdown and talk about everything involved with this cutscene and where it's pushing the story going forward. So, if you want to see that, hit the like button. Let's say if this video gets 5,000 likes, I'll do that this weekend. If you want to see it, hit the like button. It's actually a pretty interesting cutscene. But until then, let's talk about what happened this week in Call of Duty. So the first thing is a new Call of Duty game, or what we thought was going to be a new Call of Duty game. And what I mean by this is, you may remember last year around this time, something got leaked on the PSN known as the Red Door. This was a code name for what would eventually be Black Ops Cold War. And as we know, that did tie into the campaign with the Red Doors, and more recently, as we saw with the new cutscene for Verdansk 84. Now, with this week, we got a new PSN leak for a new Activision publishing game, and we thought that this was either going to be Modern Warfare 3 Remastered or an early kind of version of Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. As it turns out, that wasn't the case, and this was actually something for Diablo 4, which Blizzard and Activision, of course, are working on. So don't get too excited yet, nothing too crazy. However, there was a little bit more revolving around this. After the Season 3 Reloaded update, there were some game files found with the marking of X2. Now, that doesn't seem very important, but what went along with this was an intro 2, and an exfil, basically saying that there's going to be cutscenes titled X2. Now, alone, that doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize that X1 files were the files inside the game for the Black Ops Cold War Warzone reveal. And these are Warzone files. So what is most likely going on here is that this is actually for the reveal event for the next Call of Duty game, for Call of Duty World War II Vanguard, or whatever that next Sledgehammer game is actually going to be called, which means that we might actually be closer to this reveal than we originally thought. I'm still guessing mid to late summer for this reveal, like they did with Black Ops Cold War, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, it's funny because after these files were found, they were actually changed or removed, whatever you want to say, to BR Armored Train, which is very, very strange. I don't know if they're trying to hide the X2 files or whether they're just for some other event that'll be coming with Season 4. Now, speaking of Season 4, this is where we dive into the Season 4 leaks. So the first one that we have actually ties into what we were talking about before, the Red Doors. Now, remember how we were talking about that intro scene to Verdansk 84 where they kind of zoom in on that red door and it opens up and we don't really know what was going on with that? Well, it turns out that might be something coming to Warzone, or an event coming to Warzone, or something along those lines. I don't know if it's going to be permanent or a limited time thing, but based off of the files found inside the game, it actually appears as though these red doors are actually going to be some sort of portal. So we know that this red door is in hospital. That's what we saw in the cutscene. But basically, based off of the game files, it appears as though when you go through these doors, it'll warp you to another location on the map, almost like a fast travel system. Now, this isn't confirmed. The other theory revolving around this is that there's just going to be a bunch of different red doors around the map that will do something different altogether. But the current theory of essentially warp portals is the best idea that I've seen yet. Now, speaking of what's going on in Warzone, there was another file that had the tag MP_WZ for Warzone_island, which could be many things. I've seen many theories for this, one of which is that it is a new map, kind of like Rebirth Island off the coast of Verdansk. Another theory that it's kind of like a mini Verdansk. Another theory that it's just going to be a new area within multi-team within Black Ops Cold War, kind of like we have with the Duga. It's going to be another map in there that's going to be modeled after Verdansk or an island, something like that. There's a lot of theories with that. It also may be nothing, so I wouldn't dive too far into that one. Now, essentially the last leak that we have for season 4 is the operators. There's 3 different names. We don't really know much about them, but the names are Deathstalker, Komodo, and finally Quicksand, all of which sound like evil characters to me, but we're gonna have to wait and see. My guess is that one of these is going to be the title character, and once again probably another Perseus agent. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I actually say that. The first of which is every season so far, when they've added a new character and it was a title character for the season pass, it has been an evil character, it has been a Perseus agent, and they've kind of tied into the overall Adler story. Now, with that updated cutscene that we saw before, we found out that the next one that we're probably dealing with is going to be in Africa. Now, I don't want to dive too far into this before we actually take a look at that full cutscene, but I do want to say that the first time that we see Raul Menendez in Black Ops 2 is in Angola, aka Africa. And we've talked about many times before the different tie-ins to Menendez within Black Ops Cold War, so it'll be interesting to see within Season 4 whether or not that gets tied even more together. But all in all, it's going to be interesting to see where Season 4 goes next. Once again, tying into the brainwashing theme that we've seen, we have the Red Doors thing that is going to be happening in Warzone, and all of this should seemingly tie together. The question is really how. Now, the other thing that we have on the horizon is the next Call of Duty game. Now, there's 2 things that I wanted to talk about this. People have been talking about Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer remastered. I just want to go on record to say I really doubt this is happening. It would take away from Warzone. It would take away from the other Call of Duty games going on, and I just don't see that happening. The other thing is Modern Warfare 3 campaign remastered. My best guess is that won't happen until next year, because every time that they have released a Modern Warfare campaign remastered, it has been with another Infinity Ward game. That being said, next year it's not an Infinity Ward game, it's Sledgehammer, but the timing would just kind of make sense then. I guess technically we'll just have to wait and see. The other thing is the reveal of course, the next Call of Duty game. Call of Duty World War II Vanguard, as it's codenamed. This we should be getting more and more information on week after week, and that's why I recommend tuning into these videos every single week. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and every single week I will keep you up to date on everything that we know, all of the leaks, all of the information. So if you enjoy, subscribe, hit that like button. Like I said, if this video gets 5,000 likes, we'll dive into that cutscene in depth. If you want to see it, hit that like button and let me know what you think down in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard.